Oh,
wow, he's got one. Oh!
Doubling up. Here we go.
You know what? Like, one of the important things here is, like we talked about, is that straight up and down bucktail. You just stem the motor a little bit. My line was straight up and down and got hit. Tim, what's the secret on these bucktails? I know you guys really work hard on this.
Well, the finish on them, there's no more realistic finish on the market, and then it's got that Gamakatsu sticky sharp hook in it.
Yeah, well, one thing I will say is you guys with that bucktail pretty much revolutionized the way people fish bucktails now. You really have.
One really important thing, Rich, is our bucktails are designed when they're fished on the bottom like we're doing here,
right.
They set parallel with the water.
You know,
they don't hang straight up and down like a traditional bucktail.
I know Andy's got a good fish on, and that's a decent fish, but that's a keeper, but we're going to let him go. Not too many people would do this with about an 18, 19-inch fish, but we'll do it.
Not much fish, but beautiful fish.
All right. Now that's a solid fish. You see how these fish hug the bottom? Andy, how you doing? You want that?
I'm just going to grab this one.
That's a nice
fish.
fish.
We're releasing everything. It's a nice fish, but you know, we're releasing everything today. If we drop them both sides, it's a beautiful thing.
What I was talking about before, the teeth on these fish, boy, they will. Yeah. You know, people don't realize how much of a predator these fish really are. You know, I mean, these are some of the most aggressive fish you'll ever see.
I know I got aggressive bites.
Yeah. I want to let him go.
Rich, we're sipping off the piece a little bit here. Yep. Let's get right back where we just caught those two fish.
I got my bucktail in the water, so let me get that.
I'm going to get some more bait.
Oh,
nice set.
All we needed was a little moving water.
And the tide turned around and finally started to move again. And all of a sudden, these fish are starting to feed. I think they were here the whole time. It's just they weren't moving on that slack water.
Yeah, they'll just lay down there a lot of the times. You'll pick occasional one or two, but when that tide starts running, that's when they get hot.
And that looks like a pretty decent fish.
Rich, this is the biggest one I've caught today.
Oh, that is a good fish.
That is nice. All right.
I'm surprised you ain't got a pair of lips. I'm surprised you ain't got a pair of lips on that fish after that set. I'm pretty impressed with that.
Nice fish.
Show me a little.
Very solid.
Keep his head under the surface. There you go.
And once again, the tide is very important in this kind of fishing.
Nice fish.
Nice flip.
That's beautiful. We need a moving tide. Fish are going to pretty much bite and be a lot more active than they are on a standing tide.
I'm going to help you with him, and you got him. You good, Tim?
And sometimes you got to be a little patient. Some of the spots will maybe move a little east, a little west. Wow. Tim, that might be one more for the table.
Think we ought to eat that one, Rich?
Yeah.
I ain't turning it down.
You want to go to supper? Okay.
You know, we talked about this briefly before, Tim.